Calculator paper question 10. Factorise fully, so the n's a common factor, n brackets n squared minus 1. Difference of two squares, so it's n in brackets n plus 1, n minus 1. Question 10b, n is an integer greater than 1, so it's a whole number more than 1. Explain why n cubed minus n is divisible by 6. So we've got n times n plus 1 times n minus 1. N is greater than or equal to 2. Because we're talking about 3 consecutive numbers, say 2, 3, 1, or 6, 7, 5, we will always have an even number. So always one even number, an even number, and always a multiple of 3. In any 3 consecutive numbers. So we will always have a multiple of 3 times a multiple of 2, which is going to be a multiple of 6. Okay, you're given that x equals 5 to the power of m and y equals 5 to the power of n. Write 5 to the power of m plus 2 in terms of x. Okay, so that is 5 to the power of m times 5 squared. When you multiply, you add the powers, so m plus 2. That means that is x times 5 squared, which is 25x. Write 5 to the power of m minus n. So that is 5 to the power of m divided by 5 to the power of n, which equals x over y. 5 to the power of 3n, so that is 5 to the power of n cubed, so that is y cubed, and 5 to the power of m plus n over 2 in terms of x and y. So when we add, it is times, and the power of a half will be square root, so it's the square root of 5 to the power of m times 5 to the power of n, so it's the square root of x times y. Question 12. The diagram shows a square and 2 circles. The smaller radius is r and touches the sides of the square, so that means our square is 2r. The larger circle has a radius r that passes through the vertices of the square, so this is capital R. Okay, so we've got little r squared plus little r squared equals capital R squared. So 2r squared equals r squared. Square root both sides, so we get root 2r squared equals r. R equals root 2 little r. Question 13. Solve be a balance of minus 2y both sides. So 3y minus 4 is less than 6. Add 4 both sides, so 3y is less than 10. Y is less than 10 over 3. Solve, so quadratic, so we need to factorise that. X minus 3, x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. I'm just going to sketch a graph of this out to the side. X equals 3 and x equals -1. It's a positive quadratic, so it will look something like that. When is that curve greater than 0? So when x is greater than 3 or x is less than or equal to -1. So x is greater than or equal to 3 or x is less than or equal to -1. Question 14. So stationary points, they are the turning points, so we want dy by dx equal to 0. So dy by dx equals 3x squared minus 12. 0 equals 3x squared minus 12. 12 equals 3x squared. 4 equals x squared. X equals plus or minus 2. So when x is 2, y equals 2 cubed minus 24, which is -16, and when x is -2, y equals -2 cubed minus plus 24, so that's -8, so that's 16. So our stationary points are at 2, -16, or -2, 16. Sketch the curve x squared minus 12 x, so it's going to go through 0, and then there, and then there, -2 up to 16, -16. Now join those points with a smooth curve as best we can. Oh. And done.